I mean, like, a great example is, how would you deal with this situation? Let's say there was this person who you knew pretty well, and you knew their good points and their bad points. And that every bad point this person has says that they're your bad points. And then one day you realise they're not my bad points. Everything that they're accusing me of is their bad point. Now, what do you do with that person? Do you say, you're accusing me of things which you are guilty of? And it doesn't matter how many times you say to that person, you're accusing me of things that you are guilty of. They never listen. And you cannot get it through to them. Are you going to want to remain friends with that person? Does it not appear that they're going to be a pain in your ass in your life? You're not going to be friends with that person anymore, and you're not going to want to have anything to do with them. Seriously. See, that's projection. That's the whole projection trick. There's a Michael Jackson song where he goes, people use projection, so you need protection. Well, how do you get protection from projection? I guess first you just have to realise that it's happening in the first place. There's a fine line, and who knows, is there any difference between projection and hypocrisy? Is fucking the bottom line of hypocrisy, is that projection? There's a certain type of human being you cannot get through to them. The way that their ego developed, the way that their ego protective mechanisms has developed has made them narrow-minded, closed-minded, and no opinion can really get through to them that doesn't boost the already established ego protection mechanism. They're so happy and satisfied with the way that their ego protection mechanism works, is that they see any information that might change the current construct of the ego protection mechanisms as a direct threat to the self. They literally see it as rape. They feel that an idea that they don't agree with violates themselves. Like, feminists have actually pointed this out without realising. Anything they don't like, they regard as rape. And it's going to take us a long time to try and work this shit out. Psychological theories are great, but this is the thing. Everything's 50-50 without you forcing it. You use education, but let's say just let that take you fucking half the way. And the rest of the half is your freedom, your complete individuality, to use those concepts, play with them, alter them, let them come into your being and your life if you agree with the theory. And I'm not saying that anyone has to agree with any theory. at all. You don't have to believe in any theory if you don't want to. I can see that there's like a sort of sense of calm now sort of coming over people who have been doing the gender wars for a while. And I think that many people have just sort of come to the conclusion that you can't fight these people with logic. Can you fight them at all? I mean, you're looking at such rigid ego protection mechanisms that really, any time that you attempt to modify their own ego protection mechanism, which ultimately you think is going to be good for both them and you. You think that if people can become more rational, it's a win-win situation. They'll become more rational. They'll stop attacking me. Surely if they become more rational, they will become a better, happier human being. And the win for me is that they're a better, happier human being and they won't attack me. Look, we live in the battle for reality. What is life for a human being apart from the struggle for the poor fuckers who can't get enough food, shelter, employment and all that basic shit? So aside from the physical battle for survival, what's the other battle? It's the battle for reality. The battle for reality. How the fuck has no one made a movie with that title? Or a book? That's what it is. It's the battle for reality. I think a lot of the confusion we've had in our lives is just how illogical people are. You can't tell them anything. At various stages in human history, people have made a big effort to advance the human mind and knowledge. What's it fucking mean if there's still so many people who are so fucking stupid? All those people who fought and died for our rights, our right to think. Can you see how fucked up this species is that we have to fight for a right to think? I mean, we have like one of the biggest brains of all the animals. And it comes down to this. The right to fucking use our brain. Nature gave us a brain with which to think with. But the thing that people with power and the thing that people are scared of the most is another person's like differing idea. It's like you encounter a human being whose brain comes up with a different answer to yours and they're a threat. I think we've all gotten to the stage where we're all so over it. Sort of like disillusioned, completely disillusioned with life. I mean, the only hope I have is that there is intrinsic good in human beings, despite all the fucking evidence to the contrary. And so that's where I sort of and focusing my ideas now is that freedom ain't free. This is an intergenerational battle that plays out. Oh God, will it be for eternity? I mean, what did the RSL say? The price of freedom is eternal vigilance. And as far as I'm concerned, what that really means is don't let it happen in your society. Is that you have to watch out for these power control trippers and give them an inch and they'll take a fucking mile. If anyone's wondering what I stand for, is freedom. How many people have been killed throughout history because they want freedom? It's like that is what our history is, apart from... Now we're in this digital age. George Orwell was Jesus as far as I'm concerned, and he wrote a Bible called 1984. Bottom line is, it's an intergenerational battle, and just chill the fuck